Hi loves, happy Tuesday. I hope that you are doing well. Today is Hokusai Tuesday, and for today's topic, I'm going to be speaking on 10 signs that you are raising your consciousness. So when I'm referring to your consciousness, I'm referring to your conscious experiences, your individual awareness, as well as your internal thoughts. Raising your consciousness not only helps you to become more aware of who you are, but others as well, and just things that are going on in the world. And this ultimately helps us to live in a higher vibration. Most of the world kind of runs on a lower level of consciousness, which is why they try to push fear, they try to push insecurities and lack onto us. So we're gonna get into this topic. I'm really excited, and I'm also going to be giving some tips on how to raise your conscious awareness. So if you're interested, let's get into it. Alright, so the first major sign that you are shifting your level of consciousness is that you will no longer be interested in being around the same people anymore, the same places or environments. So something that happens when you start raising your consciousness is that you start becoming more aware and sensitive to different energies around you. You start seeing things for what they truly are, and you start seeing life from a 5D perspective as opposed to seeing it from a 3D perspective. Now, what this basically means is that in life, we have the 3D world, you know, the things that we can see, the things that we can physically touch, and the things that we have in our environment. But we also do have the 5D, which is the spiritual. When you start coming more in touch with your spirituality or just raising your consciousness, whether it's also connecting more with God, connecting with your higher self, you'll start to notice that you start having more spiritual experiences. You start developing your discernment more. Your intuition starts to increase. And you just don't feel the same way that you did before when it comes to hanging out with the same people or doing the same activities, going to the same places. You'll start to want more, and you'll start to expect more from your life and for yourself. This means that you'll most likely want to start cutting out negative habits. You'll start to want to cut out negative people. You'll start to want to surround yourself in healthier environments, and you're not going to be into the same lower vibrational activities and habits. Now, it is okay to still partake in certain things. So say if you like going out to drink or going to the club, or, you know, those are the types of things that you're not going to have as much of an interest in. And this also kind of goes hand in hand with having a spiritual awakening. So what a spiritual awakening really is it's just coming into a higher level of consciousness. You start seeing the world for what it really is. You start seeing truth. You start being led to learning more about life, what your purpose is, what you're meant to do here. And you just have a thirst and an eagerness for gaining new knowledge. So what happens is you'll start to want to be alone more often. And this is a good sign. A lot of the time when people go through this phase in this period, they don't really understand what's happening. So if you are in this current state, this is actually a really good sign, because that means that you are going to start really going on your life's path. At the end of the day, elevation requires separation. And if you are feeling the urge to want to isolate for some time, that is going to really push you into the things that you are looking to gain here in this life, whether it's fulfilling your life's purpose, whether it's accomplishing your goals. Taking that time alone is going to help you to focus on your mental well-being. It's going to help you focus on your spiritual well-being, your physical, and that's going to be your time to really start going within and healing the things that you maybe need to work on within yourself, starting to do that shadow work, starting to heal your traumas so that you can continue to become the best version of yourself. It's also completely normal, so do not feel bad if you do notice that you aren't really wanting to spend time with certain people anymore, or you're just not interested in the same things. I know it can be a little bit confusing, especially to those around you. They may not understand what you're going through, but it is a positive sign. So just have faith and keep holding in there, because you will start to be aligned with people that are more so on your level of consciousness and that are aligned with who you're becoming. Once you start healing and you start doing that inner work, a lot of people are going to fall off of your path that are not doing the same thing. If people are not as serious as you about healing, becoming the best versions of themselves, and just raising their consciousness, vibrationally, you won't be a match for them. And that can be anybody. It can be family, it can be friends, it can be romantic partners. So don't beat yourself up about it. And, you know, it's completely normal. This is just something that happens. You will most definitely come into alignment with people that are on the same level and same journey as you. Another major sign is that you may feel the urge or need to move or like quit a job or make major life decisions like this. Maybe even like a career switch. You know, just certain things won't be in alignment with you anymore. And this is completely normal, but go with what feels right for you. If you know that something no longer serves you, make sure that you are removing those things so that you can make way for the new that's supposed to come in. Especially if you are on that constant elevation, things naturally are going to fall out of alignment. So you're going to need to leave certain things. You're going to need to maybe switch career paths or leave a certain job or move out of your hometown. Whatever it is for you, whatever you're feeling called to do and you feel is really for your highest good, make sure that you are taking those steps and that you are trusting yourself during these times. Another major sign that you are shifting levels of consciousness is that you will start to experience manifestations just coming back to back out of nowhere, just with ease. When you shift your consciousness and you are going to a higher level of consciousness, you are going to be vibrating very, very high to the point where your thoughts will start to manifest rapidly. So you also have to be very careful, because if you're thinking negative things, it can manifest very quick and easily. If you are somebody that is constantly working on yourself, you're constantly doing the things that you need to do to be in a good vibration, you are going to be able to attract things to you a lot faster and a lot easier, as opposed to when you were stuck in negative habits or you were doing things that were a little bit lower vibrational, because certain things that you want to manifest are on a higher level, a higher vibration. And you can't always achieve and attract those things when you're on a lower vibration. You can, but it's very hard because there's a disconnect. So you'll start to notice that once you start raising your consciousness, you'll be able to manifest with ease. It's going to be so easy. You can literally speak something and then it happens. You can think something and then it happens. You can write something and then it'll happen. So you'll start to notice that as well. Another major sign that you have shifted into a new level of consciousness is that reality around you will start to feel very, very different. Now, this, I'm not going to lie, it was like very confusing to me at first, because I was kind of experiencing like derealization and things like that. But it was because I was breaking out of those old paradigms, those old ways of thinking and believing, and I was developing new ways of being. So naturally, what's going to happen is things are going to feel very different. Life is going to feel very different. You're going to feel kind of like like you're in a dream, it kind of feels like a dream state. But this is a positive thing, so don't worry about that. And at the end of the day, that feeling kind of goes away. It kind of subsides and you start to understand what's happening. You start to go with the flow of life and you just start attracting the things that are really meant for you in that new vibration. In all honesty, when you do shift levels of consciousness, you do in a sense kind of step into a new reality, because you are becoming a higher version of yourself. You are stepping into a more powerful, a more confident, a more wise, intelligent, peaceful, and just happy place. So your reality is going to shift and you're going to feel a lot different. You'll actually start to feel really good and you'll start to feel a lot more aligned. So you'll be in a much more peaceful and happy state. Another major sign that you've shifted levels of consciousness is that you will start to see a lot more opportunities coming your way. You'll start to see that new connections are coming your way. A lot more abundance is being drawn to you because you are in a higher state of consciousness. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the other sign that I was talking about, how you'll start to fall out of alignment with what's not meant for you anymore. You're going to soon start to see that new people are coming into your life that are more aligned with you. So you'll see that you'll start to attract a lot more opportunities and a lot more people that are in a higher vibration. And this is also a really, really good sign. So if you are experiencing that as well, that is a major sign that you are shifting levels of consciousness. Another sign that I want to speak of is that you may be in a state of confusion or just anxiousness, but you feel like something is coming. This is also something that I noticed a lot, especially whenever I am going through a spiritual upgrade or I am just shifting a level of consciousness and I'm gaining more awareness, I am gaining new knowledge, and I'm just gaining new levels of understanding about life, about myself, about the outside world. That anxiousness is not always a negative thing. So don't take it as, oh, am I doing the right thing? Oh, I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen next, blah, 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 blah. If you're already on this path and you're overcoming your trauma, you are closing out karmic cycles, you are breaking free from the things that do not serve you, and then you're stepping into the unknown, and you're kind of at a place of like limbo, like you don't know what's next, and you've already kind of left the old behind. Just expect new, expect positive, because you are going to be in a place where you're not really understanding and seeing what's to come next. You're not always going to know what's to come, but you have to just keep that optimism and that optimistic mindset that new things will start to form for you. So you have to keep that vibration high, and you have to keep yourself in the state of just knowing that you are attracting more, you're attracting better for yourself. So another sign that you are shifting levels of consciousness is that you'll start to want to learn more about life. You'll have more of a thirst for knowledge, and you'll want to start to dive deeper into your purpose. Now, this is the beautiful part about shifting your consciousness, because once you do, you start to come into alignment with what you're really meant to be doing here and the things that are meaningful to you. A lot of the things that you thought were meaningful in life, you're not going to find meaning to them anymore, because you are not in that same vibration. You're going to start seeing things from a higher perspective. You're going to start wanting more for yourself. You're going to start prioritizing things that actually matter, like your peace, your happiness, your well-being, as opposed to the things that people, you know, kind of worship here on earth when it comes to like materials, when it comes to gain, when it comes to greed. You're not going to be in alignment with all of that. You are shifting into a more higher vibrational way of thinking and being. So you're going to start to notice that your morals are going to change. Your mindset is going to shift. You're not going to be into the same things that you were before. And you're going to start to find more meaning to life and more meaning to who you are, as well as what you're meant to do. Another major sign that you're shifting levels of consciousness is that you will want to work on your trauma and your healing, because you will no longer be able to live in a lower vibrational way. So say you were stuck in toxic habits, or you know, you had certain ways about yourself that were not healthy. You're not going to want to be in that type of state of consciousness anymore. You are going to be eager to start healing your trauma, because you're going to start to feel uncomfortable. A lot of the times when you are raising your vibration and you are just becoming a better version of yourself, you're going to really go in deep within to heal certain aspects of yourself that you know need to be fixed. Certain things will start to pop up for you. You will start to feel certain emotions. You'll start to get certain intuitive nudges to kind of go back within your childhood, maybe within certain moments of your life, to kind of look back on those moments and think about what happened and what's caused you to kind of be the way that you are now. So take this time to really go within and to figure out what it is about yourself that needs to be healed and that needs to be fixed, so that you can finally break free. A lot of the times when we are not in a higher level of consciousness, we're not even aware of the things that we need to fix. We're not aware of our trauma, because that is literally not at the forefront of our mind. That's literally at the back. And one thing about life and society is that they try to distract us to the point where we are not focused on fulfilling our life's purpose. We are not focused on becoming the best versions of ourselves and raising our consciousness, because we're so worried about what's going on in the world. You know, they push fear onto us constantly. They distract us with all of these apps, with all of these shows, with all of these social medias and all these things going on. Once you really do raise your consciousness, all of those distractions are just going to disappear, because you are just not going to be interested. You're going to want more for yourself. And this is really important, and why it's so crucial to make sure that you are raising your consciousness and that you are becoming self-aware, so that you can see past the distractions, so that you can see past the tactics of the government and society and the standards that they try to push onto us. Because what they do is they try to limit us so that we don't become who we are truly meant to be. They try to dim our light and our power so that we don't cultivate the lives that we want. So make sure that you're taking the time to actually realize what it is that you want for yourself and overcome the things that are stopping you and holding you back from doing that. The last sign that I will leave with you guys that you are raising your consciousness is that you will start to realize that you are the master of your reality. You are no longer going to be subjected to the limiting beliefs that society tries to put on you. You're no longer going to fall victim into wanting to go with the crowd and follow the crowd. You're not going to be as easily influenced. You're going to have your own voice. You're going to have your own mind, and you're going to want to start living in your truth and living authentically. You're no longer going to feel subjected to being somebody that you're not just because society says that this is what it should be and how it should be. You're going to start developing your own mind and seeing things from your own perspective, developing higher wisdom, developing more knowledge, and you're going to overall just live a lot more at peace because you don't feel the pressure of fitting in with society anymore. You don't feel the pressure of dimming your light. You don't feel the pressure of falling into what everybody believes just because that is what society has pushed onto us for years. You're going to start developing your individuality and stepping into who you really are. You're going to start seeing yourself for who you really are. And it's honestly a really beautiful and amazing experience because you start to learn more about yourself and you start to see yourself in a higher light. All of the things that have been projected onto you, whether it was from trauma that you experienced, whether it was from people that pushed their projections onto you, you're going to start seeing things a lot more clearly, and all of that fog is going to be lifted. So that is it, you guys. I do hope that you found this video very useful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Share this with somebody that you feel may benefit from it, and I love you guys so much. I'm wishing you all the very best on your journeys. You got this. Keep working towards becoming the best version of yourself. Keep overcoming that trauma. Keep healing. You are doing your thing, and I am so proud of you because a lot of people do not take these steps, and the fact that you are here and still watching at this point, I am really rooting for you, and I really do wish you the best. So I will see you guys in my next video. Peace and much love.
Look at the streets, you are not my mate. If you become a chef, not be head of state. But my people then go say I don't want buy, I don't want die.